Okay, you guys, we need to talk. Like, we actually need to sit down and discuss what just happened. Because I am staring at my feed and I'm genuinely concerned. Is it just me? Or did Coachella 2026 just officially become the funeral of influencer culture? I'm sorry, but I've been refreshing TikTok for 3 days and my jaw is actually on the floor. This wasn't a music festival. It was the Influencer Olympics, but like the budget version? The please pick me version? I'm seeing brands uninviting people 3 days before the flights take off. I'm seeing $10 million headliners doing YouTube karaoke. Like, what is actually happening? So, it starts here. Sophie Rain. She posted this breakdown of what it costs to go to Coachella when you aren't a brand favorite. And you guys, when I saw the final number, I actually had to look away.
How much does it cost to go to Coachella with receipts? So obviously I am not a brand friendly influencer, so I had to pay for Coachella all on my own. And I'm going to Coachella with the entire Bop House, the assistants and stylists, so I had to get 12 tickets. We got 12 artist passes and a table at the main stage, and it ended up being $67,980. You guys know me, so obviously I booked a private jet, and a round trip to Coachella Valley cost me $37,490. We originally had an Airbnb booked way in advance for $29,000, but they canceled on us 3 days before the event. So we had to book another Airbnb, and that total was $83,375. And as I said prior, I got a stylist, and all of the clothes that she got me ended up totaling to be $5,000. So the total cost for 3 days at Coachella is $192,845.86. Do you guys think this is worth it?
Nearly $200,000 for 3 days in the dirt. Tell me why she's paying $83,000 for an Airbnb because her first one canceled. This is insane. But wait, this is where the pattern starts to creep in. Because while Sophie is out here dropping a literal house down payment on a weekend, everyone else is doing the complete opposite. This is where it gets weird. Usually, influencers try to act cool, right? They want you to think brands are beating down their doors, but this year, the mask didn't just slip. It fell off and shattered. Take Taraswrld. I'm sorry, but the secondhand embarrassment I felt watching this.
Now that I'm on a whiny influencer tangent, I'm gonna keep going. I can never get a free hotel. Tara, you sound like a brat. I don't care if I sound like a brat. Influencers, that's just like hotels. They're like, yeah, stay here for 3 nights for free and just like post about us. That's a thing. Our whole job is to like promote shit, okay? I can never get a free fucking hotel to save my life. And you'd think that that would be my strong suit because I didn't pop off on TikTok because of my solo trips, but I kinda did. The solo cruise videos, all of the solo travel shit that I've done in the past, like you'd think that hotels would be like banging down my door. No, it's rough out here, babe. And I don't understand, like there's this one girl, so I went to Miami a couple weeks ago and I reached out to so many hotels. They all turned me down, and then I'm going to Miami again tomorrow and I reached out to all the same hotels, they all turned me down again. And this is just one example of why this grinds my gears. There is this one girl I follow on here that has 100K. She has 100K followers. She stayed at the one hotel South Beach for free. She stayed at the W. Those are like the 2 most expensive hotels on Ocean Drive. And they'll respond to me and be like, maybe next time, not really doing partnerships right now. I'm like, wait, why? Like solo travel is my thing. Brands and hotels hate my guts and like sure, I get it, but like kind of annoying.
I have no shame. At least she's honest. But then she's asking for a +8 to 8, 1-8 outpost? Like, girl, are we manifesting or are we panicking? And it's not just the big creators. There are micro influencers making entire PowerPoint presentations explaining why a brand should pay for their hotel.
This is why you, as a brand, should invite me to Coachella from a marketing perspective. And trust me, I will only take a minute of your time. Number 1, my engagement goes crazy. This past year alone, I've accumulated 147 million views on TikTok, which is, if I'm correct, about 1/2 of the US population. I've gotten around 11 million likes and 5.5 million profile views. In the last 90 days on Instagram, I've accumulated around 63 million views and have reached almost 12 million individualized accounts. That is just a portion of what I've accumulated on Instagram this past year. I have accumulated so many more views on Instagram than TikTok this year. I can be a huge asset in reaching new target demographics. Number 2, I have extreme flexibility in my style and the type of content I can create. These are all of my different looks, well, a few of them anyways, which shows that I have flexibility. I have also gone viral for Get Ready With Me's, for Day in the Lives, for POVs, for skits, anything under the sun, I have gone viral for it. And that is because I am able to adapt. I am able to be what you want from a creator. I can elevate your brand in any way that you see fit. Number 3, I have notoriety. I have been recognized in every single country that I've visited, not just from people from the US visiting, but by locals. I have articles in People Magazine, Parents Magazine, Teen Vogue, MSNBC, NBC, Washington Post, ABC News, Fox News. The list goes on. I am a notable person. I am a known person. When I walk into a room, there are people who come to me and ask for pictures. I've had people ask for signatures. I, not even to brag, am a notable person, and I will continue to be notable. If you get me on your team, you are showing that you are looking towards the future and not just who you are as a brand right now. Lastly, it has been brought to everyone's attention that the direction we are going in as a country is more conservative. As brands, I know that you've been wanting to button up. I know that you've been wanting to be more safe, more clean girl with your aesthetic. But for every reaction, there is an equal and opposite action. I said that reversed. But basically, for the large demographic of people who are pushing towards that more conservative, more buttoned up look, there are going to be an equal amount of people who do not want the country to go that way, who are not trying to be clean girl, who are not trying to button up. And I represent those people. That is why I have been getting the engagement that I have been. That is why I am standing out as a creator, because I represent the demographic of people that are not in the main populace. If everyone is going down this path, a crowded path, mind you, I am carving my own way through the forest. And as a brand, you need to capitalize on that. Not just on the markets that are popular right now, but on the new markets and the underrepresented sub-demographics of people that you can also reach as a brand. I just feel like a lot of y'all overlook me because I'm not what the majority of the population is looking for right now. But I have something that they don't, and that is authenticity and individuality. So take me to Coachella.
I won't drink. I won't smoke. I'll just post content. Is this a job application or a hostage negotiation? I'm confused. Am I the only one seeing this? It's like everyone decided at the exact same time that if they didn't go to Coachella for free, their career was over. But wait, it gets worse. This is where things change. Because while all these people were begging to get in, the people who were already in were getting kicked out. I started seeing these videos pop up and I thought, oh, maybe one brand messed up. But then I saw another and another.
So I got invited to Coachella this year with a brand and then uninvited. And I already kind of made a video talking about this, but long story short, they emailed me. I was so excited. I responded. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I had one question about the whole +1 situation, and then they didn't answer my question. And then we kept following up like, hey, what's going on? And then 3 days later, they were like, actually, you're not invited anymore. And I was like, period. Yeah, it did make me feel like a BFL, like a big fat loser, kind of for a second there. But, you know, you have to laugh. You got to laugh it off. Like, I was like, you know what, whatever. It's okay. Like, I don't need to go to Coachella this year. And even though I want to see Justin Bieber, it's okay. And anyways, but I'm making this video actually because my friend TK, Taylor King, she is someone I met when I was part of the Ulta Beauty Collective last year. I love her down. She's hosting a house with Hero Cosmetics this year, and they emailed me, and they invited this wristbandless, Coachella-less, lonesome refuge influencer to Coachella to go with them, with Hero and TK. So I'm really excited, and I will be going, and I will be popping out, I guess, next weekend. And I just panic ordered a bunch of things on Depop, and I really hope they come in time, and I really hope they're actually cute. I actually found some really good stuff on Depop. Do not sleep on Depop for festival outfits. They have, if you curate your algorithm right, it shows you really good stuff. But yeah, anyways, so, and Kristen's also coming, House Chris, which is another friend I met when I was part of the Ulta Beauty Collective. Her and TK are my girls. And so House Chris and I are gonna, I always call her House Chris, but Kristen and I are gonna be reunited, and I'm so excited to see Justin Bieber. Anyways, I just want to say thank you, Hero, and thank you, TK, for inviting me, because I don't feel as disappointed anymore, but also like kind of that brand that uninvited me.
You've bought the outfits, you've told your followers, you're ready to go. And then, oops, disregard that email. We meant to send it to someone more famous.
I got uninvited from Camp Poosh, so let's talk about it. So this all started when I received an email from an account manager at the PR firm that's hosting Camp Poosh this year. For those of you that aren't familiar, Camp Poosh is the big influencer party hosted by Kourtney Kardashian, first weekend of Coachella. It's not at Coachella, it's like a completely separate event. I just want to point that out. I received this email saying, Camp Poosh invitation, immediately jumping out of my seat. I'm so excited. If you know, Camp Poosh is like one of the top parties to get invited to. So I was amped. It's Camp Poosh invitation for Carolyn Bankston. And the email says, hello, Carolyn. I'm obviously not Carolyn. So I get an email back from this account rep. At 12:30 in the morning, I immediately open it up. The email says, hi, Kathy. Sorry, this was a mistake. This invitation was obviously meant for Carolyn Bankston. Really appreciate your nice introduction, but please disregard, as this invitation was not intended for you. Thanks for your understanding.
I'm sorry, but if a brand sends me an invite by mistake, they better find me a cot in the hallway. You can't just say, whoops, wrong Carolyn, and vanish. That is so messy. But then I found the real reason this was happening, and it's honestly disgusting. This is where the pattern reveals itself. Why were all these brands suddenly ghosting their influencers? Manny MUA did a little boots on the ground journalism, and the tea is actually scorching.
So I have some Coachella tea to spill. You guys might already know this, but I found this out throughout this weekend. I'm doing boots on the ground investigative journalism here at Coachella, okay? So you know how a lot of brands have canceled on creators to come to Coachella just days before actual festival itself? Okay, I've been finding out reasons why. The biggest reason, you guys, is actually Airbnbs and houses have been canceling last minute on people out here in Coachella days before to resell their home for 4 times the price. Let's say a brand pays $10K for a house for the weekend. They canceled it, and now the Airbnb is charging $50K for it. I heard so many things this weekend about the cancellations that I was like, oh my god, this is why the brands have to cancel their whole Coachella. And the creators get fucked because the brands no longer have a place to house them in because because it's Bieberchella, everything is sold out. It's completely booked up, so they have no choice but to cancel days before. It's fucked up regardless, but it's like, what are the brands to do? You know what I mean? You guys might have already figured this out throughout the weekend, but I found that very fascinating that this is why a lot of the brands have been canceling on creators. It's fucked up, but it's really the Airbnb people. It's an unfortunate situation.
Are you kidding me? The homeowners were canceling confirmed brand bookings just so they could relist them for 5 times the price to desperate people like Sophie Rain. It's a cycle of greed. The homeowners want the money. The brands can't afford the price hike, so the influencers get the boot. It's all a house of cards, you guys. Everyone is just trying to look richer than they are, while the actual rich people are literally kicking them out of their houses. Speaking of high school drama, you guys knew he'd be here. James Charles. He managed to get into a near physical altercation over a shoe. A shoe!
If you want any indication of how this weekend is going, I literally almost got into my first fight last night. My friends had to pull me away from somebody. I will tell you that story in a second, but before that, fucking Coachella! This is literally all of Coachella 2026 wrapped. So you guys know Justin Bieber was the headliner for last night and he was absolutely insane. I feel like this year that has been what everyone has been looking forward to. It's Bieberchella, but because of him, this Coachella has been crazy. A friend was in front of me, he politely said, excuse me, stepped over her and was all good. Well, I was right behind him. When I said excuse me and got ready to politely step over, she moves herself over and says, nope, you can go in over there. I said, nope, I'm gonna go right here, excuse me. Well, then she moves over again, moves her feet. So when I take a little step, I accidentally step on the very, very tip of her shoe. Not her open toes in a sandal, not a cute little sneaker, a heavy duty boot. And I know that because I look down after she literally, and I'm not kidding, grabs both sides of her head and goes, ah!
He called her a dumb A. Truly the pinnacle of professionalism. Notice the pattern. Every single story coming out of this weekend is about conflict, ego, or money. Nobody is talking about the music. Even the artists weren't safe. Sabrina Carpenter is usually the internet's sweetheart, but this weekend, the vibes were off. She caught heat for mocking a fan's celebratory cheer.
Is that what you're doing? I don't like it. That's your culture, is yodeling? Is this Burning Man? What's going on? This is weird.
You guys, I'm sorry, but if someone tells you a sound is part of their culture, you don't call it yodeling. She apologized later, saying it was pure confusion and sarcasm, but people are pointing out that the fan probably waited 10 hours in the desert heat just to be insulted by their idol. Is it a pattern of being out of touch or just a bad joke? But the biggest what is happening moment had to be Justin Bieber. Everyone was hyped. People were saying he got paid $10 million for this set. 10 million. And what did he do?
I don't know if it's really clocking to them.
He literally pulled up YouTube videos of his old songs and sang over them, like he was in a dorm room at 2 a.m.
And that is premium. I don't want to see no ads.
Even Katy Perry is shading him. Look, I get it. Some fans say it's nostalgic. They say it's a full circle moment because he was discovered on YouTube. But $10 million to watch someone browse a playlist? Am I the only one who thinks that's a little wild? I don't even know what to say to that. When the food lines are empty, but the line to make sunglasses is 3 hours long, you know the priorities have shifted. It's not about the experience anymore. It's about the photo. It's about the brand. It's about the status. So let's look at the pattern. Influencers begging for invites. Brands uninviting them to save money. Homeowners scamming brands. Artists doing the bare minimum. And everyone else just trying to stay thin enough for their Revolve outfits. Is this a coincidence? Or is Coachella officially over? I feel like we just watched the Influencer Olympics turn into a Hunger Games style race for relevance. And honestly, it's kind of depressing. But hey, that's just my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments. Was this the messiest Coachella ever, or am I just overthinking it? Did Justin Bieber rob the festival, or was it art? I'm going to go drink some water and pretend I didn't just see someone spend $200,000 on a weekend in the dirt. Stay messy, I guess. Bye.